Now we're ready to start building out the foundation for our battle window. Let's go into the Canvas game object and our game window. We'll right-click on our game window game object and go to UI and create a new panel. Let's call this panel Battle Window. The first thing we're going to want to do is change the default image to our battle window border. We'll also want to set the alpha to 100%. By default, panels automatically stretch vertically and horizontally. So let's go in and while holding down Option on a Mac or Alt on Windows, we'll reset the values and center it. This will change the rect transform to allow us to define an explicit width and height. Let's go ahead and change the Y position to 20 to move our window up, and we're going to change the width to 98 and the height to 82. Now let's add an image into our battle window. We'll right-click on it, go to the UI menu, and select Image. We'll change the source image, and let's set it up to be the background sky. You can do this by typing out sky in the search box and picking the background sky texture. Now, in order to get the image to show up correctly, we're going to need to click the Set Native Size button. We'll also want to align this image to the top of our screen. So let's change the pivot Y value to 1, go into our anchors, and reset it to align to the top of the screen. Now I've zoomed into this image so you can see there's a very subtle black border around the edge of our battle window. But our new sky image is actually overlapping it. So what we're going to want to do is change the position Y to -1, which will move it down 1 pixel so we can see the border correctly. And now let's rename this game object to Sky. The next thing we want to do is create a new UI image for our ground. Select the background planes as our ground, set it to its native size, and here we're going to change the pivot Y to 0. Then we'll align it to the bottom of the screen. And let's change the position Y to equal 1 so that it moves up 1 pixel so we can see the border on the bottom of the battle window. Rename this to Ground. Next, we're going to add some clouds to our scene. We'll change the image to Background Clouds, set it to its native size, change the pivot Y to 1, and anchor it to the top of the battle window. Let's name this Clouds. The last thing we're going to add are mountains. We'll change the image to the background mountains. Let's set it to its native size. And here, we're simply going to change the position Y value to 13 in order to move it up. This way, it overlaps the sky and the ground, and the clouds are technically behind the mountains. Let's name this Mountains. And now we have our battle window decorated so that we can see the place where we'll be fighting our monsters.